747, Central at 750, Harp, and then Malvern, Gifford, and Butterfield on up the road just a little bit. Again, we've been keeping a close eye on these cells tonight. Sometimes these tropical systems will produce tornadoes. We've had several tornadoes produced over southwest Arkansas, at least confirmed tornadoes. And this is a warning. It's a very strong cell that is northeast of Dallark, and the movement is due north. It will move over Highway 222 between Rolla and Donaldson, Arkansas. There's Darien, Malvern up the road. I would imagine that if you live in Social Hill, Malvern, Rockport, and Gifford, then you folks right now need to go ahead and take appropriate action. Find your safe spot and get the kids ready to go to their safe spot as well. You've got your phone. You can put it on Nathan and I, THV11 app, and monitor us as we track this cell that is capable of producing a tornado. There's the rotation. And this is one of our rotation products. It's showing that there is some low rotation here, but strong enough, surely, that the National Weather Service has placed this part of central Arkansas, Dallas County, and Hot Spring County under a tornado warning until 8:15 tonight.
Tom, this is probably the strongest couplet signature that we have seen all evening long. And let's go over to Storm Track 11 because that one is really showing more on the rotation tool of a clear area of concern where you see the yellow right there. So right to the southwest of Willow, north of Manning, that yellow area most likely could see a tornado at any moment. So you want to take this situation certainly seriously, right along the border of Dallas County and getting into Hot Spring County. And Malvern, you need to get to your safe place because this rotation could certainly hold together. It's drifting almost due north. It may be a little more northwest, but if you are in Malvern or Social Hill, get to your safe place right now because this cell is showing a lot more rotation than what we have seen with the past cells, and it may produce a tornado at any moment. At this time, it's in Dallas County. You've got some time to work with, Malvern, but you have to certainly take this situation seriously. Back over to Max now. We have the clear couplet of the blue and the orange. So this is where the rotation is located. If there's going to be a tornado, it's going to be very close to the community of Round Hill, just outside of Willow. Brown Springs, headed towards Highway 222, very close to Landers, the community of Central in the path of this, along with Harp, Durian, and also Malvern, Social Hill. Those areas need to go ahead and get to the lowest level of a sturdy structure into your hallway, into your bathroom, into your closet. Stay away from windows and make sure that you choose a room that doesn't have any windows and try to separate yourself from the storm with as many interior walls as possible. This signature, Tom, definitely has me more concerned than what we have been seeing over the past couple hours.
Certainly a stronger signature, and it's a lot tightly wound up. Now in northern Dallas County, it's getting ready to cross over the border. This is Hot Spring County. Here is the polygon that we're talking about, the tornado warning in effect until 8:15 tonight. If you live in Hot Spring County, up the road, this is I-30, just to orient you, I-30, here's Arkadelphia. You've got Social Hill, you've got Malvern, Rockport. All of you folks are in this polygon. Again, very important that you take your steps, get your kids to their safe place, make sure you take something to put over your head, a bicycle helmet, something that's sturdy over your head, maybe a pillow, blankets, as you get into the centermost part of your home, lowest level of your home as well. This is a shear marker. This is showing where the strongest rotation is located. And again, like Nathan said, this is probably the most impressive rotation that we've had tonight. And it's not a good thing with the cells that we have been tracking over southwest and south central Arkansas. And you can see it's certainly wound up here. This is classic Cook Echo. And the only difference between what we normally experience and tonight is instead of these moving to the northeast, they're moving more northwesterly or northerly, wrapping around that circulation center of Beryl, which is still in Texas. Again, here's the storm track. Here's who's in the path of this storm. Right now, Willow, you're on the outskirts of it, but go ahead and take shelter. Round Hill, Donaldson here at 745, Social Hill 754. Anywhere within this polygon, you are at risk of potentially being affected or impacted by this cell. So there you go. That's the only warning that we have. We have more strong thunderstorms in southwest and southern Arkansas that could produce tornadoes with very little warning. But this is our main action right here. And notice over the last few moments or so, the last 30, 45 minutes, the cell has drifted out of Dallas County, and it is now riding along the border of Dallas and Hot Spring County. It will impact those areas along I-30 near Malvern. If you live near Malvern, anywhere south and let's say south-southwest, south-southeast within that polygon area, you're in the path of this potential tornado. I want to show you the watches. We have a tornado watch in effect till midnight tonight. All the counties that you see in yellow, we have a fairly long night to go before the impacts of Beryl begin to lessen their grip and move away from us. The tornado warning here. Excuse me, one more tornado warning down in Union County that is going to move into Ouachita County right now. Not warned, but Camden, you could get round 2 tonight. So we have to keep an eye on both of those. Tornado warned storm here that is out of Dallas County into Hot Spring County along I-30. Take your appropriate measures and actions right now.
Tom, I think this is going to be the start of a trend because the wind field of Beryl is continuing to push its way into Arkansas. So the likelihood of more storms rotating and potentially producing these quick tornadoes will be on the increase over the next few hours. But this cell is certainly showing some signs that it is a strong cell that will produce a tornado at any moment, as it makes its way across the county line of Dallas into Hot Spring County. Look at the winds. These winds certainly tell the story. You see the bullseye right there of the blue. That is the winds going towards the radar, and the orange is winds going away from the radar, but those winds are picking up. So the inflow of this storm is really ramping up as it continues to push its way out of Dallas County and eventually in to Hot Spring County. If you're just joining us right now, I believe we are also live on the THV11 Facebook page. If your power goes out, you can always check that out. Through the course of the evening, we'll continue to provide updates when we are also on air. This is going to be a long night. Hopefully nothing happens, but we are in the situation that we could have several tornado warnings over the next several hours as the wind field continues to move in here from Louisiana. That is the only tornado warning in effect at this time for the THV11 viewing area. But nonetheless, this is certainly a signature that we don't like to see in terms of how strong the rotation is showing up here and increasing the odds that a tornado may drop down very shortly as it pushes its way from Dallas County into Hot Spring County, moving right over Highway 222. We'll continue to zoom in here, give you some more roads that may try to pop up and maybe some landmarks, but there are some other roads popping up. So there's Highway 222, and we have, looks like Watley Trail, Pump Station Road, Roundtree Road, a lot of county roads in this area, but then as you get closer and closer to Malvern, you'll see more main roads try to pop up here. So we have Bowman Road, I believe, Bob Brown Road, and then also Ridge Road. So any of those areas sound familiar to you, but as you get closer and closer to Malvern, Durian, Harp, you are in the path of this dangerous cell that is showing a lot of rotation right there. That blue is certainly sticking out like a sore thumb, Tom.
Yeah, strongest cell that we've seen tonight, getting closer to central Arkansas, Little Rock metro area. Lifting to the north, is now beginning to cross out of Dallas County into southern Hot Spring County. But notice who's in the polygon. You know, these cells have been drifting more northwest. This one's a little more northerly by northwest. So that's why Donaldson, Social Hill, even Malvern and Rockport, those are some familiar sounding towns. You're going to be in the path of this as the storm drifts to the north. So we're keeping a close eye on it. Tornado warning remains in effect. I do want to back up and say, if you're just joining us tonight, thank you very much. We're going to try to keep you safe. This is a THV11 weather impact alert. This is something new that we're going to be utilizing to make sure that you're safe out there, basically. And with the impact alerts, it can be severe weather like this. It could be impacts like heavy rain, flash flooding. It could be more nuisance weather or weather that is just an inconvenience, folks. Tonight, it's dangerous to hazard weather that we're dealing with this particular cell. Moving out of northern Dallas County, strong rotation with it. Haven't seen any confirmation of any tornado, but National Weather Service saying that there may have been a few trees blown down near Sparkman, Arkansas. Probably some straight line wind gusts or some wind gusts from this cell. Lifting to the north, it's not long away from getting out of Dallas County, lifting into Hot Spring County. A tornado watch also remains in effect tonight for most of central and southern Arkansas, and that is until midnight as Tropical Storm Beryl lifts to the northeast. And we need to get an update on Beryl to see if he's lost any more of his strength, if he's been downgraded to a tropical depression. We'll find out that information for you as well. Those systems do tend to weaken over time, but the dynamics in the atmosphere are thus that we still have enough of that wind energy for rotation within these thunderstorms. There's a cell here. Also looks like something else out there near Pike County. But that's the only tornado warned storm. Severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect. There's a tornado warning down in Union County. That cell looks like it may get into southern Ouachita County here very shortly. If you live down around the Camden area, it could be round 2 for you here in the next hour. And you can see a little bit of that couplet right there that looks very pronounced as it lifts to the northwest. As we continue tonight's coverage, Nathan and I will be here to keep you up to date and to keep you safe. They continue the tornado warning for Clark, Dallas, and Hot Spring County tonight for the possibility of a tornado. And yeah, this is looking very, very impressive in terms of its overall rotation and structure. So would not be surprised, and it has been strengthening over time. Nathan, it's looking very pronounced tonight.
Tommy, look at the loop of the winds, and it spun up very quickly. There might have been something happening very close to Sparkman right there.
Yeah, right.
And then it kind of disappeared, weakened a little bit, and then you see that blue really flare up once again
take off,
as it entered into northwestern parts of Dallas County. Now it's starting to, looks like, weaken once again, but still, don't let your guard down, Malvern, Social Hill, because these cells go through cycles. So it may weaken a little bit, but it may re-strengthen very shortly as it enters its way into Hot Spring County. So at this time, that rotation is right on the border of Hot Spring County and Dallas County, headed for 222, Highway 51. There's Donaldson, Highway 67. So this rotation is going to continue to push its way in that part of Hot Spring County. It will get very close to Malvern. Whether or not it will move directly over Malvern, we just can't make that call. You're under the tornado warning. If you're under the tornado warning, tornado sirens are going off in Malvern. Make sure you take this storm seriously. Get to your safe place. Take your tornado precautions. There's the other communities in the tornado warning polygon. Everyone in the red area: Social Hill, Rockport, Gifford, Malvern, Durian, Donaldson, very close to Friendship, and there you see Rolla. Be on your guard. Go ahead and take the safest measures, meaning take those tornado precautions until we give you the all clear. This is the only tornado warning we have in the THV11 viewing area, but there is that, classic hook echo.
Classic hook. So somewhere just south of 222 in this radar here, this cell here, this is where we're finding the possibility of a tornado. Donaldson right now getting some very heavy rain, possibly some hail as this thunderstorm lifts to the north. Social Hill, you are next, but we're keeping an eye on the southern flank of this, just now crossing over the Dallas County border into Hot Spring County. It's just now to the west of Rolla. Here's Highway 222, 67, and I-30. Just to orient you, here's the interstate, 67. On up the road, you've got Malvern, you've got Rockport and Gifford, and this is one of our rotation products. Looking a little bit better, more likely with some rotation, but I think if
this was the history.
The history of it.
So you can see
So,
how
yeah.
that green went through Pine Grove and then it moved into northwestern parts of
There's
Dallas County.
Sparkman, of which we've had reports of some trees toppled there. I wonder what we look like here on Storm Track 11. Do we have that ready? We could take a look at. This is our velocity mode here, but we'll go to NROT and see what we're picking up. And yeah, Nathan, that's looking very impressive. Anytime I see a little that little yellowish green dot, that's indicative. And there you go, right there through northern Dallas County. That's what prompted the warning. We'll take it all the way back. There's Manning, Fairview, Dalark, and then down around, we'll take it up a little bit higher. We can see Sparkman is over in this general area. Yeah, there you go, Sparkman, Arkansas. So reports of some possible damage there. And there it is, lifting to the north, strengthening, weakening, strengthening, going through cycles. It's just what these tropical laden storms do, these storms that occur with tropical storms or with tropical depressions on the one of the rain bands there. So there you go. That's what's going on in southern parts of Hot Spring County. This is the area of spin or rotation in southern Hot Spring County. Social Hill up the road, Donaldson is up the road, and also Rockport and Malvern. You folks will be next in line for this severe thunderstorm that could produce a tornado. And there's the hook echo with it, certainly very well pronounced as it lifts to the north-northwest.
Let's get back over to Max now. This is the radar. We're zoomed in here onto Hot Spring County, Dallas County. That cell is still showing clear rotation as it moves from Dallas County into Hot Spring County. We'll zoom out for the rest of the region just to give everybody a heads up on what's happening. The rain started to get a little bit closer to the Little Rock Metro, and we'll have to watch out for that cell. If it holds together, it will eventually move into Garland County, maybe even into western parts of Seline County. There's another tornado warning that has been issued for Union County. That could push its way into Ouachita County, and pretty much anywhere you see the reds in southwest Arkansas, but also the leading edge of the rain, that's where these cells could start to rotate, and therefore tornado warnings will still be possible over the next several hours. We have the tornado watch all the way until midnight for a large part of central Arkansas, and these tornado warnings, they can come very quickly with little to no notice. So just be on your guard. We're going to keep you updated here on THV11, but there is the one big concern we have with this cell. Take a look at the winds. We're looking at the winds within the storm, seeing where the winds are going towards the radar, seeing where the winds are going away from the radar, and that blue. That blue is a sore thumb when we look at the radar because that is the inflow or the winds going towards the radar into the storm. That continues to still show we have counterclockwise circulation, but the blue has weakened somewhat. So it may be going through a weakening phase. Nonetheless, it's still a tornado warning in effect for Hot Spring County. That does include the city of Malvern.
Right up here.
Let's put another track on here in case people are just joining us right now. And we will include Malvern, we'll include Social Hill. Here's a timeline for you. It's going about 40 miles per hour off to the north, maybe a little jog to the northwest. 8:03 for Malvern, Butterfield around 8:10. Magnet Cove around 12 minutes after 8 o'clock if it continues to push its way into that part of Hot Spring County.
Yeah, so those are the locations. Hopefully you have reached your safe spot. Ride this out with us. If you haven't already done so, you can always download the THV11 app from the App Store. It's free. You can stream our coverage. We'll walk you through it. We'll keep you safe. Make sure that you've got things in place in your safe spot. You know, it's good to have something to put over your head. Some folks have bicycle helmets. Put a pot or a pan over your head just in case. Centermost part of your home, lowest level of your home, put as many walls between you and the outside as you can. The smaller the space, the better. Those smaller interior closets, stay away from windows. We advise you to do that. If you have a bathroom but you've got an outward wall, maybe find another room that is more interior and you can put a few more walls between you and the outside. Nathan mentioned the storm may be going through a cycle. Looking at what the Weather Service has said, it may have produced a tornado down in Sparkman. At least I think there might be a photo from a viewer down there, which reminds me that if you have anything you want to share with us, we want you to always be safe. Don't get up out of your safe spot and go try to find these things, especially this time of the evening. It might might be wrapped in rain. But after the storm has departed, if you would please take a picture or two and share it with us at 501-376-1111. You can text that our way, and we'll give you, of course, proper credit for it. And we just want to see what's happening. You're the eyes and ears around us. Okay, folks? Now, with this particular storm, anybody in the path, stay put. Don't get out of your closet. It's getting a little bit closer to Malvern. Here's 67, 167, Rockport, Malvern. You've got Social Hill and Donaldson in the same area here. The storm is lifting north-northwest at 40 miles per hour. And if it makes a bit of a turn or a bend, you see what's in the path here. You got Lake Hamilton, Lake Catherine area over towards southern parts of Garland County, Lake Catherine, Lake Hamilton, Lake Washita, Hot Springs. So y'all keep an eye on this as well. If it lifts to the north, Seline County would be in the path as well. So 8:15, that's how long we've got this tornado warning. Still tightly wound up, so the Weather Service is going to keep this tornado warning effective until 8:15. We got a good ways to go with it. And Nathan, it looks like they might be picking up a little bit of forward momentum. Earlier tonight, these storms were moving 25, 30, now upwards of 40. So they're picking up a little bit more speed tonight.
Absolutely, Tom. And we're watching that cell jog off to the north-northwest, about 40 miles per hour. So now, if there is something happening, that rotation is directly over Highway 222, very close to Donaldson. So Donaldson, you need to be in your safe place at this time. It's going to move over Highway 67 and headed for Social Hill and also Malvern. Now, if you have anybody traveling on Interstate 30, make sure you let them know, hey, you have a storm that possibly did produce a tornado into Dallas County around Sparkman, because there has been damage reported with some tree limbs and trees down. This is going to be headed right for Interstate 30. They want to hold off on driving through this region until this cell passes. And that's going to be over the next 15 to 30 minutes. So if they're coming from Little Rock and they're headed down towards Texarkana or Arkadelphia, they need to hold up and try not to beat this as it makes its way right over Interstate 30, and it could be producing a tornado at any moment. We still have that blue showing up. And somebody asked on our text messaging system what the blue means. And the blue means we have winds going in different directions, because you see there, Tom's pointing out towards the radar and away from the radar, you have counterclockwise circulation. That's how meteorologists identify there's something in the storm. It's rotating, it's starting to spin like a top. And as those colors get brighter and brighter, with the blues becoming darker and eventually maybe greens or purples on the other end of the legend, that tells us the winds or the inflow of the storm continues to increase. And when you have more inflow versus outflow, that increases the chance of a tornado happening at any moment. So that's what we're watching for this cell. This is not a Doppler, or excuse me, this is not a confirmed tornado, but it could produce a tornado at any moment as it gets closer and closer to the city of Malvern, Social Hill, and Rockport.
Tornado warning continues until 8:15. It is now 7:49, close to 7:50. And here's the area of concern. We talk about velocity or wind speeds, and I know we're just looking at different colors here. We'll go back to our main radar in just a moment. A lot of people identify with the hook echo, and that's another way that we can tell, but we can really tell by looking at the wind fields within this thunderstorm, and that's what we're looking at here. Just to the east of Donaldson on 222, that's where we're finding a possible tornado. Nothing confirmed with this, although not long ago it may have produced a tornado near Sparkman. We have seen a couple of reports of some trees that were down near Sparkman. This is going to continue moving north, 67, and then along I-30. If you live in Malvern or south of Malvern, you're going to be in the path of the storm. Again, here's Donaldson, there's Social Hill, and here's what we identify as the hook or the hook echo. You know, we look at these, you see these supercell thunderstorms in springtime that have the hooks. Typically, we're moving southwest to northeast. This cell is moving more north by northwest. It may bend back toward the Garland County area as it gets to the top of this warning polygon. We'll keep an eye on things. Seline County, Garland County, you would be next. There it is in motion. Still, Nathan, looks like the lightning has died out.
Lightning has gone down.
Yeah, that's a good sign.
And also, when we look at the cloud tops, Tom, those cloud tops have also started to
come down.
Drop down somewhat. I'm going to rewind this here for the past hour, and you can see how everything started to evolve with those cloud tops Let's slow it up here just a little bit. But there it continues to move in. It was very red, and now we're starting to lose those deeper reds.
Yeah.
So that shows the storm is starting to weaken with the lack of lightning showing up, and then also with the cloud tops coming down. And we're not seeing that clear hook echo like what we saw earlier, just a few scans ago.
That's certainly some good news. The National Weather Service, they're going to continue the warning until 8:15. They just came down with that. Thought there might be some leeway there. They might drop it off to a severe thunderstorm warning. So you're still in the path of this. Those of you that live in northern parts of Hot Spring County, if you live near Malvern, here's I-30, here's 67. Just to orient you with where we're looking at here, this is southern parts of Hot Spring County, 67, south of 67. This is going to move to the north, going to get awfully close to Malvern. It's going to be close to the Rockport area. Also looking fairly close to Social Hill. It's to the west of Donaldson and to the east of Donaldson, Caddo Valley, getting the orientation of these things are moving north by northwest instead of northeast, from southeast to northwest. So this is the only cell. Tornado warned. May have produced a tornado near Sparkman earlier this evening. We have other strong storms, at least look more impressive to our south. Tornado warning for Union County, and that storm is going to move and affect folks that live in and around the Camden area there in Ouachita County. But these are the only two warnings right now that we have. And
they are not confirmed, Tom. We are still seeing the likelihood that they may produce a tornado at any moment. But when we take a look at the winds, those winds have really started to die down with that one in Union County as well. But I'm going to switch over here to Shreveport just to make sure I'm not missing anything. So when we take a look at the Shreveport radar, we're not seeing as much rotation that what we were seeing just a few scans ago. Then we'll go back into Hot Spring County. Now that's aloft. We're several thousands feet aloft looking from Shreveport. When I switch this over to more of a low level radar, there's still a little hint of rotation there. You certainly can't rule that out. Yeah. It's not as strong, but if there's going to be something, it's going to be very close to Donaldson, just past Highway 222, moving towards the community of Central, Highway 67, and this is going to get very close to Social Hill. It may just clip western parts of Malvern with this rotation couplet moving across that part of Hot Spring County. But it is encouraging to see this storm weaken somewhat. Still tornado warning, still have to take it seriously. Stay in your safe place, Malvern. Stay in your safe place, Social Hill, until we give you the all clear. We have that tornado watch in effect all the way until midnight tonight for several counties across Arkansas. That does include Little Rock, Searcy, into Conway, Danville, Mena, and then also south and southwest Arkansas. The wind field is starting to build its way in here from Louisiana, and we'll just have to be on our guard to watch for any storm that may try to spin up a quick tornado with little to no warning. That is going to be the possibility. So you may have rain and then all of a sudden you're under a tornado warning. Even if you're not under tornado warning, with these bands of rain moving through, you could get a gust of wind 35 to 45 miles per hour. So be prepared for that. And we'll also take a look at the radar estimates, if this is going to work for me. Hopefully it will. For the past 6 hours. Let's see if it's going to load. Just give it like a 15 or 30 seconds. It might take some time for all the data. But
I think it's also important to note that the National Weather Service may up the amount of rainfall tonight, Nathan. Talking about the amount of rain that we have, we could see more rainfall, more of a moderate threat of some heavy rainfall and flooding. That's something you need to be aware of, because it could impact travel later on tonight and tomorrow. But lots of rain falling outside, and it's already piling up to 2-3 inches of rain so far, Nathan.
Where that dark blue is, Tom, and then you continue to go back into Texas, and you know, look at that. That's rainfall 4, 6, maybe 7 inches into northeast Texas, and that's all moving into Arkansas. So there's going to be some locations, and it could be just a narrow path, a few counties that see maybe 7 to 10 inches of rain in a short amount of time. That is going to lead to some potentially serious flash flooding concerns going through the overnight hours. So we have the tornado threat until midnight. That may be extended into the early morning hours, but along with that, we also have the threat of heavy rain causing flash flooding for poor drainage areas, low-lying areas, and also any other smaller creeks and streams could rapidly rise out of their banks.
Yeah. New tornado warning just posted by the National Weather Service for Ouachita County, and that also includes Nevada County in southwest Arkansas. This is an area that's already had a couple of tornado warnings tonight. You notice that line of some pretty intense thunderstorms. Now we're picking up enough rotation. There's the cell in Union County that has not been extended just yet over parts of Ouachita County that include Camden. And there's the tornado warned storm in Hot Spring County that is set to expire at 8:15 unless the Weather Service expires it. But they're keeping it going for right now. But if you live in Nevada County, if you live in Ouachita County, southwestern Ouachita County, a new tornado warning has been issued for this area. And that's on that southern fringe of our THV11 viewing area. So we can go back to radar and take a look at these storms and what's prompting these warnings, if we have any rotation, if we can pick up the rotation. There's that line that we were talking about, some very intense rainfall, and now we're seeing more rotation within individual cells along that line. There's the one to the north of us that still looks fairly impressive, and wow, it may have strengthened a bit. And here's the other one that was just issued for Ouachita County. That's getting over to the Shreveport radar site. So we may have to take a look over there. And yeah, there you go. You can see a little bit more of a more impressive couplet talking about winds that are blowing toward and away from radar. So yeah, some stronger wind gusts here, Nathan. And it looked like the one in central Arkansas near Hot Spring County was also strengthening or cycling up again. So we've got a couple of more areas to keep an eye on this evening.
Tom, I'm trying to look at the Shreveport radar. Just 1 second here, as that's going to be pulling up on Storm Track 11. We'll take a look at the NROT to see, or excuse me, the rotation tool to see if that is showing up with any higher potential. There's nothing too significant on Storm Track 11 when we take a look at the Shreveport one. There you see there is some blue and some green, not seeing the green within the blue like what we saw with the one well to the north. We'll switch over here to the Little Rock radar because that's what we have to do. Switch back and forth since we're getting away from the radar with some cells, and other cells certainly is not showing as much as the rotation as this one is. So this rotation looks more significant than the one into Hempstead County, or excuse me, Nevada County, moving from Ouachita County, but still we have to watch it. So there is where the rotation is going to be located. Now it's to the northeast of Donaldson, right along Highway 67, and that is getting closer and closer to Social Hill. So again, if you are just joining us, Social Hill and Malvern, you are still under that tornado warning. There is certainly some rotation headed in your direction. Whether or not the rotation will push its way towards the ground, you just don't want to take a chance. Back over to Max now. This is the winds within the storm. What we're looking at is where that blue and orange come together. That's where the highest rotation is located within this cell. And there you see the latest scan. It's very close to the community of Central, right over Highway 67, starting to approach Social Hill. So it looks like Malvern may be spared just to the west, or it's just to the east of this rotation, as this rotation is just to the west of you, and it's going to be moving over Interstate 30, over Highway 84 very shortly. And then after that, it may continue to stay together and push its way into Garland County. So I want to give you folks a heads up. If you're watching us in Garland County and into northern parts of Hot Spring County, there's Highway 70, there's Magnet Cove, there's Butterfield, and then getting into Hot Springs, Lake Catherine. Certainly Lake Catherine area is going to have a higher potential if this rotation holds together. And there's the Dollar Generals around Price and Lake Catherine and Red Oak. A tornado warning has not been issued just yet for you folks, but there is rotation that continues to hold together, moving through Hot Spring County, over Highway 67, very, very close to Social Hill, and it will be very close to Malvern. That's one tornado warning. Then we have this other tornado warning into Ouachita County, eastern parts of Nevada County. Does not include the city of Prescott. That could change. We're going to switch over here to the warning polygons just to show you all the communities in the warning at Mendenhall, Glenville. We also have Bluff City, White Oak Lake State Park, all in that warning, along with Ralston. So if you are in those areas in Nevada County, you have a tornado warning. There's a cell moving from Ouachita County, lifting its way into Nevada County, because these cells are moving from the southeast south to the northwest. Very unusual in a typical situation, but when you have a tropical system moving across the state with that counterclockwise circulation, this is a situation that you're dealing with.
It is 8:01 till 8:15. We have the warning in Hot Spring County, but you know, you hate to second guess what's going to happen, but I believe they're going to extend it into parts of Garland and Seline County. If you live in Garland and Seline, like Nathan was saying, near the Hot Springs area, if you live near Lake Catherine, Lake Hamilton, here's Garland, here is Seline. I would go ahead and get everything ready to go just in case. This storm may have produced a tornado. Look, I was looking at social media. There are reports that there was a tornado near Sparkman, Arkansas. And then down in Ouachita County and to Nevada County, that's our second warning. Of course, we are keeping an eye on what is now Tropical Storm Beryl, and Beryl is responsible. Beryl is impacting Arkansas's weather, which brings me to the THV11 Weather Impact Alert. This is something new, something that we've unveiled tonight, with the remnants of Beryl producing some gusty winds, possibly a tornado, and some flash flooding. That's impactful. That's going to affect a lot of folks, possibly affecting some folks already tonight, if in fact we get confirmation of a tornado that may have damaged some homes in Dallas County. There are the warnings that we have here. It looks like we have the one in Union County, and there's the tornado warned storm again in southwest Arkansas for Nevada and Ouachita County. As the center of Beryl gets awfully close, it's getting closer to northeast Texas and southwest Arkansas, and it is going to lift to the northeast tonight, producing some very heavy rainfall. Flash flooding is a threat. You might even pick up some wind gusts outside of these thunderstorms that occur. Maybe some stronger wind gusts within. This is a very impressive band right here, and it's within this band as it lifts to the northeast. And if it continues to hold together, probably within the next hour and a half, 2 hours, around 10 o'clock or so, we may see it getting close enough to the Little Rock metro area. Going to be a long night tonight. Let's make sure that everyone is safe. Let's talk about these impacts as we move forward. Our THV11 impact alert. This is going to last through 1 o'clock Tuesday. And of course, our impact is Tropical Storm Beryl and the winds and the flash flooding. You need to stay weather aware. Stay tuned to THV11. Download our app. It's free. You can stream us. Nathan and I will be here as long as it takes tonight. And then tomorrow morning, Tracy Bean, meteorologist Tracy Bean, will have more on the future impacts of Beryl. Looks like it's going to be a heavy rain producer. This is the forecast rainfall amounts between now and 8 o'clock Wednesday. I think it's a little underblown here over southwest Arkansas. We've already seen areas with 2 to 3 inches of rain. And then you get into the 3, 4, 5, possibly more inches of rain as Beryl lifts to the north. When does it all come to an end? Probably tomorrow afternoon, 2, 3 o'clock. We'll see Beryl get out of Arkansas, at least the remnants of Beryl. Could be a tropical depression or a remnant low by then. But tonight, as Beryl circulation moves out of northeast Texas, we're getting the effects of some of those rain bands producing some torrential downpours and the rotation within those thunderstorms within, especially this arm here, this band of rain right here. And you can see the result. We're getting some spin strong enough to produce tornado warnings. There's the Hot Spring County storm. Let's go back to this one, Nathan, and zoom in a little bit and give the folks an update that live south of Malvern. It looks like this storm is just going to graze to your west Malvern, but Social Hill is in the path. Rockport, you're north of Malvern. Right now, you're all right. Storm is going to bend toward Garland County, and this is our area of concern now on the western end of 67, between 30 and Social Hill and 67. If you live or know or have family in this area, there's a possible tornado here, at least strong rotation that has prompted the tornado warning. And when you look at this, you go, man, what are all these colors about? Well, this is our velocity mode. We can look at winds blowing toward radar, the blue area here from Little Rock radar, and the winds that are blowing away in the orange, and that gives us what we call that couplet, or the rotation, the winds within that storm. So it could be producing a tornado. We'll just have to wait and see. And sometimes they get wrapped in rain, and that's probably the case tonight with some of these tornadoes. We did have a few in southwest Arkansas. So until 8:15, we got another roughly 10 minutes here, Hot Spring County. But you know what? Well, there's the addition that we were expecting in Garland County. And it's just not quite Seline, but now Garland County has been added. I'm going to let Nathan tell us about it, that tornado warning for Garland County and Hot Spring County.
Yeah, Tom, as expected, this rotation has continued to maintain its strength, and now we have a brand new tornado warning. We'll go over here to take a look at the rain part of the radar. This will also query the tornado warning. So that tornado warning is in effect until 8:45 for eastern parts of Garland County. The sirens going off in Hot Springs and certainly around the Lake Catherine area, Lonsdale in the path of this rotating thunderstorm, Highway 70, Highway 270 as well. We'll take a look at what's happening with the polygon and show up some more communities around the region. So there's Magnet Cove in the path of this potential tornado. Nothing has been confirmed, but it is still a cell that's rotating quite a bit. So you want to go ahead and take your tornado precautions in Diamond Head. That is certainly a very nice community around Lake Catherine State Park in the direct path of this rotation as it moves from Social Hill towards Diamond Head, which is right on the border of Garland County and Hot Spring County. And once again, you see these D's popping up. That's where the Dollar General is located. We want to give you a perspective on exactly where you are located when you're looking at a map. So that's why I put Dollar Generals on there. Highway 128, Highway 270, Highway 171. The community of Price also getting into East Grand Avenue as you get closer to Hot Springs. Downtown Hot Springs is also located under this tornado warning. Although you're just on the edge of it, don't let your guard down. Go ahead, take your tornado precautions just in case. The actual rotation is still into Social Hill. So let me give you an idea on when this rotation will be moving into your neck of the woods. It is going about 25 miles per hour in that part of the state. So I'm going to edit this path because it was 40 miles per hour. So we'll drop it down. We'll make it 30 miles per hour just to give you enough lead time if you're watching us in those locations. And we have that rotation very close to Social Hill. So when we put this purple polygon down, that is going to be the higher probability of where this rotation will be located. So Price 826, Fountain Lake 842, and Whittington around 846. If you are in this purple area, you definitely want to go ahead and take your tornado precautions. If you are not in this purple cone, but in the tornado warning polygon, don't let your guard down. You can still see that rotation headed in your direction, especially if it jogs a little farther to the west than what we're expecting. So everybody in that red polygon needs to go ahead and take their tornado precautions into East Garland County and also into northern parts of Hot Spring County. That's one tornado warning. We still have that one in effect also for Nevada County, Tom.
Yeah, I-30, we have several RDOT cams. Guys, if you found a shot in this general area that we could take a look at, we got a Malvern. Let's take a look at the Malvern area, looking toward the storm, we hope. And it's awfully dark. Looks like it, we're looking west, and it looks awfully rainy out there. So if you look closely, it looks like there's some maybe some lowering here in the distance. But there's the thunderstorm moving across I-30 right now as we look west, and this is down around the Malvern area. All right, so I just wanted to see if we could find something. Keep looking around there, Kevin, and see if you can locate something. National Weather Service continues this tornado warning. There's the new warning. You've got Hot Spring into Garland County. You've got the warning down in Ouachita and Nevada counties. These are the only two warnings. We're beginning to see finally that large shield of rain lifting slowly to the northeast. You're going to get some very heavy rain in a short amount of time. Several inches of rain could occur in parts of Arkansas, before things are said and done. But tonight, it's the tornado threat. We thought we might have to deal with this. With any kind of landfalling tropical system, you do have an opportunity. This is a THV11 weather impact alert. We talked about it at 5 o'clock tonight, and then at 6 we had to break into programming because of tornado warnings, and this is what this is about. Conditions were favorable out there as this system lifted to the northeast, and thus we gave you an alert. There it is right now, moving over I-30, the main area of concern, Social Hill. It looks as if the storm is currently over Social Hill, and that's at I-30. Movement is to the north-northwest and is going to be drifting toward Garland County here. in the next 30 to 45 minutes. Here's the outer edge of that first tornado warned area, and then it's going to cross over Magnet Cove, Butterfield, Lake Catherine State Park. If it continues the path, I tell you, it's going to get awfully close to the eastern side of Hot Springs, and then from there, it's going to travel upwards toward the Hot Springs Village area. You got Jesseville as well. This storm is holding together. There's Fountain Lake. You saw Fountain Lake. You're not in it just yet, but you will be. At least I think you're not in it. I've kind of lost the detail of the polygon, Nathan, because all of our colors are kind of running together there. But just know, there we go. There is a tornado warning there. There we go. There's Fountain Lake, just on the outer edge or on the edge of that polygon right there. Yeah, some of our favorite places to go going to be impacted once again. And this is a very strong cell. You can see there's a little bit of a hook here. We like to identify our storms sometimes with hook echoes. We've also got velocity, which is wind mode, winds toward and away from radar. This is where we're finding the potential for a tornado. Could have produced a tornado down around Sparkman in Dallas County. So we're keeping an eye on this and the one to the south. Again, it's going to be some very heavy rain to go along with it tonight. Storms are getting closer to the Little Rock metro area.
Tom, let's go over to Storm Track 11 now, because when we take a look at the pinpoint rotation tool with Storm Track 11, that bullseye of green is certainly a little ominous sign that this is still producing quite a bit of rotation. We don't know if it's reaching the ground. I've been checking out the debris detector and have not seen anything of significance in terms of that tool, but this bullseye green right over Social Hill, right over Interstate 30. Hopefully this rotation is staying in the clouds. It will continue to sweep its way closer to Hot Springs. So the eastern side of Hot Springs, and certainly we have those areas of Lake Catherine State Park and also Diamond Head, need to be in their safe place because this rotation is headed in your direction. It is a Doppler radar indicated tornado warning, but we have had a history that it may have produced damage into Dallas County, and it could still possibly produce a tornado as it continues to churn its way off to the north and northwest. That is the only tornado warning into the close area of Little Rock, but we could still see more tornado warnings issued through the course of the evening into the overnight hours. Let's go back over to Max 1 now, because we are also watching that tornado warning in effect for Nevada County and into extreme western parts of Ouachita County. We'll take a look at the winds within this cell using the Shreveport radar because it's closer to this part of the state and not seeing as significant rotation in terms of the northern cell that we're watching, but this is still has a tornado warning with it, and we'll rewind this here, take a look at it to see if it has weakened somewhat or if the rotation is still there. It looks like it's been moving quite a bit. When they issued this tornado warning, it was right there on the border of Ouachita County and Nevada County, and now it looks like it continues to push its way closer to the northern end of that warning. So if they're going to extend the warning, certainly Prescott will be included in that, and also into Clark County and Pike County if the National Weather Service out of Little Rock decides to go ahead and issue a new tornado warning. We'll be on the lookout for that. But right now, we are still watching the rain shield continue to progress its way off to the north and northeast slowly, with these storms rotating in the direction of the north and northwest, and a heavy band of rain really setting up shop across southern parts of the state where those reds are. Yes, that's where the potential there could be some spin-up tornadoes, but also that is some very heavy rainfall that could lead to some flash flooding issues, and the steady heavy rain goes all the way out into Oklahoma. So we have a long night ahead of us, not only with tornado warning potential, but also the rain. The rain is going to come down fast and hard, and several inches of rain will likely lead to flash flooding concerns across some part of Arkansas where these bands continue to set up and just kind of go over the same location, Tom. That is going to be a major concern as we go through the overnight.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons we have the THV11 weather impact alert for the heavy rain, for the possibility of tornadoes tonight. If you missed it earlier, we have unveiled a new way to provide you with the information that you need to know that impacts you on a day-to-day basis. Severe weather, certainly one of those things. Disruptive weather, weather that's inconvenient. It could be a little bit of fog that occurs during the morning rush or even in the evening hours. It could be the heat of the day. Those are just a few of the examples of what qualifies weather impact alerts. Tonight, of course, it's the impacts of Beryl. Beryl with not only flash flooding and heavy rain, but you see the results of what sometimes these tropical systems do. They produce tornadoes. And I think once we get to taking a closer look tomorrow, we're going to see several paths where we've had some touchdowns, tornadoes in certain areas. One down around Sparkman, getting some reports there, and even a picture from that one. Here is the circulation moving out of Hot Spring County, getting closer to Garland County. It's moving to the northwest. It's passing over, has passed over the Social Hill area and I-30, and then soon will pass into the southeastern part of Garland County. You've got Lake Catherine State Park, and then eventually it may move over parts of the eastern northern parts of Hot Springs. Keeping a close eye on that. It's right now, it is along and to the north of I-30, and will soon be getting closer to the 270 area and traveling into southeastern Garland County. What you're looking at is a wind reflection. We've got it on our wind mode. It's our velocity mode, which would indicate winds blowing toward radar in the color blue and winds blowing away in the orange or the red color. So that's how we're able to pick up a couplet, and this storm may produce or may possibly produce a tornado. Nathan?
That circulation has started to broaden out, Tom, quite a bit.
Yeah.
We're starting to lose those brighter blues, which is some good news. When we take a look at Storm Track 11, this is the rotation tool, the pinpoint tool, and we've lost that bullseye of green. So there's definitely a weakening trend happening within this cell. I'm going to rewind this just a few scans, and you can see the difference on what's been happening. So when you have that bullseye of green within the blue, that ups the game when the chance of a tornado is about to happen. But now we've started to lose that green. We still have the blue there, but still take your precautions, stay in your safe place. Malvern, you're almost done. It's just to the west of you. Stay there in your safe place for another 5 minutes or so, and then the danger of that cell will be off to the north. This may not hold together as it moves into Garland County. This is encouraging news. Still, we have to be on our guard because these cells go through cycles and it could cycle up once again. But I like what I'm seeing with a weakening trend here into Hot Spring County as it gets closer and closer to Garland County, and also closer to the Diamond Head community, and also those communities very close to who was affected by the tornado back in May, which is, of course, Lake Hamilton, and then just off to northeast.
Yeah, in that last scan, we saw it even getting a little farther apart. It's broadening out, but it could cycle back up. Of other concern is what's happening to our south of the Little Rock metro area. There is a band of heavy thunderstorms where we have a couple of tornado warnings, and that's what the National Weather Service in North Little Rock is keeping a close eye on. And any warnings, it's kind of in that the zone where you're getting some overlap, and not one radar from Shreveport or Little Rock is really doing the best job of identifying those radar velocities. But that next band of showers and storms that has some potential rotation is beginning to move into south central Arkansas. I said it would probably be around 10 o'clock. It's 8:19. I think that band gets close to the Little Rock area by 10 o'clock, if not a little before then. But this is our main concern. This is our tornado warning storm. Here's Hot Spring County, there's Social Hill. This is I-30 and 67. And if it continues to current track, it's going to move into Garland County. As Nathan mentioned, notice that it's weakening somewhat. The rotation keeps broadening out. Let's keep our fingers crossed in hopes that it will dissipate, or at least that rotation will fall apart, and we just get some heavy rain out of it, because then we'll turn our attention to what's happening over south central Arkansas. Let's go back to Max 1 and talk a little bit about what's happening here. There's the current tornado warning. There's another warning here in Nevada County, but it's this arcing area of strong thunderstorms. Nathan mentioned a few moments ago that we've got some low-level jet stream winds that are really beginning to pick up that could be feeding into this. That could add a little extra wind energy for rotation within this line. So, Nathan, this is a line that is probably going to be the one that we're going to watch leading up to the 10 o'clock news tonight.
And Tom, we could see several tornado warnings lined up with that band as it moves from the south to the north and northwest. And some areas that have already seen a tornado warning, you could have another tornado warning or two issued through the course of the evening. But this is certainly a band that's showing more intensity. When we take a look at the cloud tops to see if these clouds continue to grow, they are showing some certainly growth right there through Calhoun County, into parts of Nevada County, and then certainly into Union County. So we have to watch out for those cells very closely because those could continue to strengthen and eventually rotate. Here are the tornado warnings in effect across the THV11 viewing area and really the state of Arkansas. We've got that one still in effect for Hot Spring County into eastern parts of Garland County. Another one has been issued for a large part of Nevada County, and then one sliver of a tornado warning polygon still remains in effect for Union County. Looking at the winds within each of these cells, we are still watching. There's still a little rotation there, but it's not as significant as what we were looking at just a few scans ago. There's the blue area, so there's the inflow of the storm because it's coming from Little Rock. So we're seeing that counterclockwise circulation, although it is much weaker than what we were seeing just about 5 minutes ago. Nonetheless, Lake Catherine State Park, Diamond Head in the direct path of this rotating storm. Hopefully the rotation stays in the clouds, but you are still under that tornado warning at this moment. Malvern, you're okay. You can come out of your safe place. Rockport, just give it another 5 minutes or so, but Malvern, you are out of the path of danger with this cell, along with Social Hill. It's just down to the south of you as it made its way across Interstate 30. Let's take a look at the other areas of rotation into Nevada County now. And we're going to switch over here to the Shreveport radar because the radar beam is going to be a little bit closer in that part of the region. It is certainly a messy situation. It's kind of hard to detect exactly where this rotation is, but I think what we're looking at is going to be the area where you see that brighter yellow. So my evaluation is going to be very close to Redland and just to the southeast of Prescott, but that one is not screaming out a lot of rotation, although, like Tom said, we're pretty high into the atmosphere of where this radar beam is located. When we look at it from Little Rock, the radar beam is 9,000 feet. When we look at it from Shreveport, the radar beam is 9,000 feet. So we don't know exactly what's happening lower, closer to the surface, and I think the National Weather Service is just trying to play it safe, saying there's rotation in the cloud. We're just going to take the safety precautions and say this rotation could certainly still make its way down to the ground. And as this gets closer to Little Rock radar, we'll have a better idea on what's happening with these storms moving from this part of Arkansas, lifting their way to the north and getting closer and closer to the metro, and also closer and closer to the Little Rock radar, which is actually located into North Little Rock, Tom.
Yeah, so you're looking at live winds, Shreveport radar showing a better shot of what's happening here. Little Rock radar showing that tornado warning for Hot Spring and Garland County. These are the warnings we have. This is a result of Tropical Storm Beryl moving out of northeast Texas and spreading some very heavy rain as well as some strong thunderstorms capable of producing tornadoes. I think we're going to come back with several tomorrow, several tracks, some by the National Weather Service in Shreveport that will look at southwest Arkansas and one or two here in central Arkansas. Sometimes these things spin up so quickly, and as quickly as they spin up, they dissipate and recycle. And that's been the case tonight. The Weather Service has been keeping a close eye on this cell that's in Hot Spring and soon to move into Garland County because it may have produced a tornado down around the Sparkman area. There have been reports of some trees and even some homes damaged there. We'll hopefully get a report on those, on that information, pass it along to you. And there you go. This is now getting close to Lake Catherine State Park. If there's a tornado there, maybe there's a wall cloud there, certainly some rotation. It has broadened out a bit, but still tight enough to keep that tornado warning going from the National Weather Service. Continues for Garland and Hot Spring County. You know, we talk about things, here it is July, and we're talking about tornado warnings when normally we would talk about them in springtime. Very early, powerful hurricane that moved through the Caribbean, made landfall earlier today in Texas. Southeast Texas is a Category 1, and it is now beginning to spin toward Arkansas. It's weakening as it goes, but it's still strong enough to impact our weather. And because we have the possibility of flooding rains and the tornadoes, we have what we call a THV11 weather impact alert. This is something new. We will provide these to you as needed. It could be extreme heat. It's typically what we would get this time of year, extreme heat like we did back out over a holiday. Or maybe you've got a weekend coming up, you got plans outside, could have some thunderstorms. We could very easily have a weather impact alert for you there. It could be a couple of hours, a couple of days. In this regard, this weather impact alert, because of Beryl and the impacts and effects, this is going to last us through Tuesday afternoon. It's going to take a while for Beryl to get through. And this is what's going on. There's Diamond Head. Nathan mentioned Diamond Head, Lake Catherine State Park, circulation moving over Running Deer Drive. Some of the other locations that you saw there, we'll go back a little bit closer in just a moment, but there's Price, Arkansas, Lake Catherine, and some of the roads around Diamond Head. If you live on Catherine, that's Catherine Park Road. You've got Independence Road, Morningside Point, that's like Couchwood Road. Those are the roads that are being impacted by the possibility of a tornado moving through northern parts of Hot Spring now, crossing over into Garland County near Lake Catherine to Lake Catherine State Park. There's the Dollar General, if you know where that is. Lake Catherine is just to the northwest. The cell is lifting to the north-northwest at about 40 miles per hour. One other important aspect, that whole shield of rain is getting closer to the metro area, and that does include Seline County, Garland County, Hot Spring County. So we're looking at this overspreading into the Little Rock area here within the next hour or two as it continues to rotate around the center of Beryl, which is in northeast Texas, but we'll be moving into southwest Arkansas. Nathan, it looks like it's still holding together. There's rotation there. It doesn't look nearly as prominent or strong as it was earlier.
But when we take a look at Storm Track 11, Tom, that green has returned
strengthening
to the rotation tool, so that may indicate that it's trying to strengthen once again, right on the border of Hot Spring County and Garland County, and it's also taking more of a westward jog. So Hot Springs, you are under that tornado warning, especially if you're to the east of downtown. Make sure you are taking your tornado precautions, lowest level sturdy structure into your hallway, into your bathroom, into your closet. Stay away from windows. Go ahead and try to separate yourself from the storm with as many interior walls as possible, because this thing is still not done yet as it continues to charge its way into Garland County now, still showing some rotation. We have not had any confirmed reports of a tornado since it's entered its way into Hot Spring County and now moving into Garland County. But there you see Hot Springs. This rotation is moving over Highway 270, Highway 5, Highway 70, East Grand Avenue, and also Magic Springs. So if you're certainly watching us from the neighborhood close to Magic Springs, part of Hot Springs, you want to definitely go ahead and get to your safe place. You don't have much time. This is moving off to the north-northwest about 30 miles per hour, but there's Hot Springs, and this is all moving into the eastern part of Hot Springs. Lake Hamilton, you will miss this. This is going to primarily stay just to the west, or excuse me, east of you as it makes its way over Lake Catherine. Let's take a look at the warning. Once again, just to reiterate who is in this path with a tornado warning polygon. That's Fountain Lake, that's Lonsdale. Although Lonsdale, you're on the extreme eastern side of this tornado warning. It looks like that rotation will be well west of you, but still stay in your safe place. Anytime you're in the tornado warning polygon, you want to stay in your safe place until that warning has been allowed to be canceled or expire. There's Price, Lake Catherine, Red Oak, Lake Catherine State Park, and Diamond Head. Yeah. Looking at the other locations under the tornado warning, we still have that tornado warning in effect for Nevada County. Does not include Prescott. That tornado warning is in effect until, I believe, 8:30, I'm guessing, because it's 8:15, 8:45. They're saying that tornado warning is still in effect. And that one into Hot Spring County and Garland County is also in effect until 8:45. So those are the two tornado warnings we have in effect, Tom.
Little information about that. Storm Spotter is reporting a rotating wall cloud over Lake Catherine. Not an active tornado, but a wall cloud, so still could produce a tornado at any time. That's just from the National Weather Service, and I wanted to pass that information along to you. There's Lake Catherine right there, and that would match up with what report we're getting from the National Weather Service. This is the area of concern. Highway 70, 290. You've got Highway 70, 270, 128. These are some of the roadways in this area. Let's go in a little bit closer and pick out some of those roads around Diamond Head, Nathan, and of the Lake Catherine State Park area. Maybe you'll recognize some of the names: Hideaway Hills Road, Lodge Mountain Drive, Diamond Head Drive, Acres Road. This is the area this rotation or this wall cloud is moving toward, to the northwest, west-northwest. Currently over Independence, Lodge Mountain Drive, Ohio Drive. That's where we're finding the area of rotation. Those of you that live in this area, hopefully you've got us turned up, listening to us in your safe place. Again, Storm Spotter reporting a rotating wall cloud, but no tornado. It may be going through a cycling phase currently and could produce a tornado at any time. Here's Lake Hamilton, Hot Springs just to the west. This is moving to the north-northwest and will be getting close to Highway 70, Highway 5. Eventually up the road, it looks like it's going to split between Fountain Lake and Mountain Pine, but let's find a few locations that may be in the path. We'll put a storm track. Of course, it's over Lake Catherine. Fountain Lake, it'll be near you, and Ozark Lithia on down the road at 851. A lot of terrain out here as well, a lot of mountains, Ouachita Mountains, so that might actually be affecting the rotation a little bit as well. There it is. That's the area we're taking a look at. Remember, velocity mode, winds blowing toward and away from radar. Winds blowing this way toward the radar and the other way away from radar. So that's our area of concern. That's where the tornado warning is in effect currently. And that's what we have in central Arkansas. The other warnings we have are in southern Arkansas, with that next band of rain and thunderstorms lifting to the north. That may be in central Arkansas by 10 o'clock by the time we hit the news. And we'll see if we have a newscast tonight. It may just be Nathan and I walking you through what's going on weather-wise. It is an active night. It's going to stay that way for the most part. Here's the outline of the polygon, though, going through Fountain Lake. And that polygon extends northward. It's not quite to Hot Springs Village, but I tell you, Hot Springs Village, which is just under our banner, this might get close to you here in the next 45 minutes or so. We'll keep an eye on it, moving to the north-northwest at about 40 miles per hour.
Tom, using Storm Track 11, looking at the debris detector. I'm not seeing anything as of yet. With that rotation, we're not seeing the radar pick up any debris. If we did have rotation reaching the ground, picking up trees, picking up shingles, pieces of buildings, you would see the colors start to change from the pink more to the yellow and then eventually blue if it was a strong system, because the radar can pick up on how the debris is getting lofted well up into the atmosphere. So we're not seeing anything of concern at this time on the debris detector. We take a look at the pinpoint rotation tool. We've lost that bullseye of green once again, but there's the latest scan. It looks like it might be trying to cycle up once again. So we have reports that the clouds are rotating. We do have a rotating wall cloud. That is the first indication that there could be a tornado at any moment. So when you see a rotating wall cloud, that tells you this storm is spinning like a top and the rotation could reach the ground and become a tornado. So once again, I need you in your safe place. Make sure you're taking your tornado precautions. If you are watching us on the eastern side of Hot Springs, it's going to be a close call. I think for the most part, it's going to just miss downtown Hot Springs, but certainly areas like Magic Springs and the bypass right there, Highway 70, Highway 5 going towards Jesseville, Hot Springs Village, in that direction. That's where this rotation will continue to go over. Now, it's not headed towards Jesseville, I don't think. I think it's going to be just to the west if it holds together, but there's Hot Springs, Fountain Lake, the blue area where that blue meets up with the orange. That's where the rotation is located. So I'm going to highlight this area, show you here with the arrow. There's where most likely the rotation is located, moving right over Highway 70 and also Highway 5, headed towards Highway 7. And just to the east and northeast of downtown Hot Springs. The sirens, I'm sure, continue to go off for Hot Springs. If this holds together, it will push its way closer to Mountain Pine, and then it may get very close to Hot Springs Village, and then eventually possibly towards Lake Ouachita State Park. That is the highest concern that we're looking at with the tornado warning in the THV11 viewing area. The other tornado warning has been allowed to expire, it looks like. Let me go over, just take a look at the individual warnings, And yes, that is the only tornado warning we have in effect for the entire state of Arkansas. It's the one that has made its way into Garland County, and that's what we're going to focus our attention on, Tom.
Let's take a quick little reset, Nathan. Let's go back to our statewide radar and show you what it looks like elsewhere, the rain that's occurring and where it's coming from and when it's going to arrive. Of course, all of this is due in part to Beryl, Tropical Storm Beryl, which is moving out of northeast Texas now and spreading a lot of rain. The rain shield is getting a lot closer to the Little Rock metro area. We're keeping an eye on that cell and, of course, anything else that may develop in that band of showers and storms right here over southern Arkansas that is just north of Camden. Maybe the atmosphere has been worked over a little bit, but there are some jet stream winds that we have to be concerned with that are mixing in with this that may actually enhance some of the spin. The center of Beryl in northeast Texas, southwest Arkansas. Oh, and there's a new warning. That's for Clark County now. That does include it does look like it includes Arkadelphia, includes Garland, and that's for western and central. Clark County. Let's see. Just northwest of Welland Springs is where we find a center of circulation. Okay, so there's the Clark County new tornado warning now for Clark County. Arkadelphia, you're on the eastern point of that. Antoine, Arkansas, there's Garland, and I guess the spin is right around this area. We'll have to take it over to velocity to really get a better idea as to where the spin is, and we'll take it a little bit closer.
I'm trying to look at Storm Track 11 to see if we can actually see something.
Storm Track 11, there's Welland Springs.
I'm going to switch it over here to Shreveport too to see if they have a better look. Again, we're in between radars, so it's certainly a little guessing game on exactly where, but there's a little blue and red showing up around Welland Springs, according to Shreveport.
Yeah, that's kind of a no man's land when it comes to radar beams. There you go, right there. So, and I think that Weather Service not taking any chances considering what's happened already tonight. Here's Garland. Garland, you're going to be in the path of this. Curtis as well, going to be lifting to the northwest here, and we'll get the specifics on this tornado warning. It is for Clark County until 9:15 tonight. Capable of producing a tornado, of course, near Welland Springs, 12 miles east of Prescott, moving north at 35 miles per hour. So this is moving more north than northwest, and if it continues to move north, it may skirt across Garland and Curtis, Arkansas. So certainly something that is well worth watching. Let's go back to Max 1. There's a bit of a donut hole here, Nathan. Maybe that's where they're talking about the spin there. Here's Highway 53 and Highway 51. Garland just to the north. This cell is lifting to the north tonight as well.
I can put track on that, Tom, for you in just 1 second.
Sure thing.
We'll take a look at how fast it's going, 35 miles per hour, and then we'll also go back to the one into Garland County. So now we have 2 tornado warnings we're tracking here on THV11, and we could possibly have more as the night wears on with the wind energy continuing to push its way in from the south into Louisiana and then eventually into Arkansas, allowing these storms to continue to rotate and possibly produce quick tornadoes with little to no warning. So here's the new track of that system moving through Clark County. We'll continue to extend it even beyond the tornado warning just to give folks a heads up. But there's a timeline, and there you see we have Garland around 8:47, Boswell 9:02, DeGray 9:14, and Findlay around 9:22. This is not a confirmed tornado, but there is certainly some rotation showing up with this cell, and that's why the National Weather Service is playing it safe and saying, okay, we're going to issue a tornado warning on that one. We're still watching this one into Clark County, although we have really lost the structure looking at the rain part of the radar, but when we take a look at the winds within the cell,
it's still there.
It's still there. Not too impressive, but still can't let your guard down. That rotation is making its way just to the east of downtown Hot Springs, most likely very close to Magic Springs, along Highway 70, Highway 5, and it will continue to push its way towards Highway 7. So Lonsdale, you are in the clear, I would say, from this potential tornado because you are well to the east of that rotation. Fountain Lake, be on your guard because it's going to be pushing up along Highway 5. There's the Dollar General, at the intersection of almost 7 and Highway 5, and there are some roads that are popping up. So if you are familiar with any of those roads, then you are in the direct path of this rotation that may produce a quick tornado at any moment. So we have Fox Pass Cutoff, we have Quarry Mountain Road, we have Bearcat Hollow Road. So we're getting into some certainly rolling hills, and you're not really going to be able to see this because it is getting dark, and also with the mountains and valleys up there, that's going to make it difficult to actually see something. Of course, you don't want to take any chances because this is most likely rain wrapped. Take a look at the radar. It's just heavy rain. So it'll be heavy rain followed by certainly a gust of wind and maybe a tornado embedded within that rain. And they have issued a brand new tornado warning to continue into the rest of the eastern parts of Garland County. And it also does include a sliver of Seline County. Now, Seline County, the tornado warning sirens may be going off into Benton, into Haskell, into Bryant, Alexander, if they are coordinated county-wide. But you are not under a tornado warning in that part of Seline County. It is only a small sliver of western parts of Seline County under that tornado warning.
It's a very, very small sliver of western Seline County. Hot Springs Village is now in the path, and we saw the little hook echo, if you will, the little bean, looked like a backward bean. That's south of Hot Springs Village. There's the area of concern. The new tornado warning for Garland County in that little part of Seline County. Weather Service, Nathan's also keeping an eye on a little area in Grant County that's been very persistent, very small area. We'll go there in just a moment. For those of you that live here in Garland County, Jessieville, you are included now in the tornado warning. There's Hot Springs Village, and if we could slap on a little radar image, we will show you where the storm is in relation to these locations. Again, that's going to be till 9:30 tonight. It's still a little bit to the south of you, but Jessieville, Hot Springs Village, and all points in between. You got a little time to get everything together, find your safe place, centermost part of your home. Make sure you take a blanket with you, something to put over your head to protect your head, and take your phone with you, something you can track us with in your closet or your safe place. Maybe it's a basement, maybe it's a storm shelter that you have. But now's the time to act. You've got a little bit of time as the storm drifts to the northwest. And there's the hook right there between Highway 5 and 7. It's been a persistent area where that's just holding together. It's cycling up and down. It's weakening, and then it strengthens again, and it's holding its own. It's right now located along Highway 70 and Highway 5, and will soon be crossing close to Highway 7, making that trek up to Hot Springs Village and Jessieville. Heavy rain is also a possibility, and some very strong wind gusts. Here it is right here, moving to the northwest. Yeah, you know, Hot Springs Village, it's going to be awfully close to you there. It might jog just a little bit to your west, which would put it on the eastern fringe of Lake Ouachita State Park and the Highway 192 and Highway 7. But still, take precautions. Jessieville, Hot Springs Village. Here's our area of concern, moving to the northwest and riding along Highway 70 and Highway 7. Highway 5 is also in the mix there in that area. Okay, the other area that we're keeping an eye on, the area to the south of us, south central Arkansas, where we've got an area of thunderstorms, a band of thunderstorms that capable of producing tornadoes as well. The one cell in central Arkansas and the line of storms over south central Arkansas, getting a little bit closer to the metro area. And it's right here. There's a tornado warning in Clark County. Nathan, it's hard to pick up exactly where we would find the strongest rotation, but for those of you that at last count it was Wayland Springs, Gurdon, on up the road here. You've got Hollywood, Boswell, even Oklahoma, Gum Springs. You folks are going to be in the path of this cell or this storm as it moves to the northwest. And these storms are now picking up a little speed, 35 to 40 miles per hour. There was one other cell in Grant County the Weather Service was keeping an eye on that had showed some signs of some rotation. No warning on it. Persistent. It may be that little area right there that's just to the southeast of Tull. Okay, they haven't pulled the trigger on it just yet and issued a warning, but they did make note of it. It's along County Road 62, just to the southeast of Tull, and there it is. It's moving to the west-northwest, and will be moving in over southern parts of Seline County, between Haskell and Traskwood. Right now it's close to Highway 190, but we'll be crossing over the Grant County border into southern Seline County. So we'll keep an eye on that. Wouldn't be surprised if a warning is pulled on that as well. So there's an update on what's happening. Of course, this is, I do want to mention this THV11 weather impact alert. That's what we have going on tonight. This is a new way for us to help you plan your day. And the impact tonight is the heavy rain and the possibility of tornadoes, the impacts from what was once Hurricane Beryl, now Tropical Storm Beryl. Thus, you see on our banner THV11 weather impact, and we're under an alert tonight. That's something that we'll do from time to time, just so that you can make plans, whether it's the heat of the day, storms, or maybe something that's just a bit of a nuisance weather-wise, some dense fog that may affect your morning or evening travel. Okay, Nathan, I'll send things back to you.
Tom, I'm scanning the radar on Storm Track 11's just to see if we can find that rotation happening into Clark County. And again, it's a tough call. Exactly where this is when you switch over from Little Rock to Shreveport, not much help there. If there's going to be something, it's still going to be close to Garland and Welland Springs. So if you're watching us in those locations, make sure you're in your safe place. Arkadelphia, it's just on the edge of this actual tornado warning. Whether or not it actually gets into the district of Arkadelphia to sound the sirens off, I'm not sure. But most of this is going to be, I think, just to the west of Arkadelphia if there is something happening with this cell in terms of the rotation picking up or not. Looking at a rotation tool, it's just a lot of mess, it looks like, for the most part to me. We'll look at it from Little Rock to see if there's any, it's still a mess. So there's no clear sign to say exactly where this rotation is happening into Clark County. When we take a look at the actual radar from Shreveport, I'm not seeing any real signs of a bounded weak echo region. There was one earlier, and it was like probably right there when we were looking at it, but there's nothing to say, okay, there's definitely something more concerning here than what's happening into Garland County at this time. So we'll just go back and forth in between the two. There's that cell producing some heavy rain over Tull, and when we look at that with the rotation, there is a little drop in the color there around Tull, so we have to watch out for that. And this is just the situation where these things can spin up very quickly and then they fall apart. Let's rewind this one from Garland County as it made its way from Hot Spring County into Garland County. It's there, but the rotation has continued to broaden out. I mean, I would definitely be more concerned when it made its way from Dallas County into Hot Spring County, but those blues, those brighter blues, tells the meteorologist that this rotation is still weakening. We're not seeing a strengthening phase with this storm as it now has made its way across Lake Catherine, and now it's in between Fountain Lake and Hot Springs. Let's go back over to Max. And there it is. It's still showing up a little bit better here on Max, but it's still pretty weak in terms of rotation. Don't let your guard down. You're under the tornado warning. Make sure you go ahead and take those tornado precautions just to be on the safe side. But the concern of something happening immediately in the future is starting to decrease and continue to go down. Hopefully that will continue to be the trend as this rotation gets closer to Hot Springs Village and maybe even Jesseville. Right now, if there was something, it's going to be very close to Highway 7, about to approach Mountain Valley, Highway 192, and there's Hot Springs Village. So we'll zoom in here, give some more roads. If you're watching us in any of this area, Walnut Valley Road, we have Brook Hill Ranch Road, up through Mountain Valley. A lot of mountain roads here because, of course, it's hilly and we start to get into the Washita's in this part of Garland County. Beautiful area, very scenic. There's Hot Springs Village, Highway 192, and then you get into Highway 298. So those areas need to make sure that you're taking your tornado precautions. There's the lakes all associated with Hot Springs Village. When you try to extrapolate or continue this trend of the rotation, it looks like it's going to be basically paralleling Highway 7, Mountain Valley, and Hot Springs Village. Hot Springs Village, it'll be a very close call, but I think for the most part, the bulk of Hot Springs Village to the east of Highway 7 should primarily miss out on this rotation affecting you folks, because everything's rotating off to the north and northwest.
Right here, yeah. Yeah, looks like it's going to move over parts of Highway 192 over to Lake Ouachita State Park. We'd like to do this real quick, Nathan. Let's take a statewide vantage point. Let's reset our graphics tonight. We'll keep an eye on this warning, also the other warnings in southern Arkansas. We'll go back to live radar and we'll take a statewide viewpoint. We want to give everybody a shot at what's going on around central Arkansas as well as the state with most of the action here. This is our statewide viewpoint. Yeah, we've got these red banners that scream tornado warning, but there's not much else going on to the north. Just a moderate to heavy rainfall here. Most of the action is still over southwest, south central, and central Arkansas. You can clearly see now the circulation, which is beginning to move in southwest Arkansas, of Tropical Storm Beryl. And it's on this northern and eastern end that we're the most concerned about any tornadoes that may occur. Of course, tonight we've had confirmed tornadoes in southwest Arkansas. There may have been a confirmed one in Dallas County and Sparkman visually, as well as some damage. So I think when all is said and done tomorrow, National Weather Service, they get an opportunity tomorrow afternoon. They'll be doing their surveys and they will find a few paths that will add tornadoes to our count. And although it's unusual to have tornadoes in July, it's not totally out of the question, especially if you get a tropical system. Once again, this is our statewide viewpoint, and you can see that rain is beginning to get closer to the Little Rock metro area. I said it would be around 10 o'clock. It's getting closer to 9 o'clock here, but we'll still see Central Arkansas, Little Rock, Pulaski County, Lonoke County, Seline County getting some moderate to heavy showers. And of course, we're keeping a close eye on what's going on within this line where we still have the tornado warning in Clark County and the tornado warning in Garland County. But just want to give everyone a shot. Eastern Arkansas, not much going on. All of the action is currently through south central, central, west central sections of the state. And there are the two warnings that we have, Clark and Garland, as well as Seline County. These are tornado warnings, and nothing has been confirmed, although very strong rotation. There was one little cell in northern Grant County that we were also keeping an eye on that was going to move into Seline County. Some rotation there. National, there it is right there. It's now in Seline County. This is just a little area of spin, maybe not strong enough to produce a tornado, but it's one of those areas we've got to keep an eye on between Traskwood and Tull. It is now in Seline County. It's north of Highway, I think it was 209, 229, there's 190, but there it is right there. That is another area of concern the Weather Service is keeping an eye on, and that is moving to the west-northwest. But the main action we're keeping a close focus on. And you know, Nathan, it just, you know, if there's anything here other than a rotating wall cloud, I'd be very surprised. But it has gone through its cycling phase. It continues to weaken a bit. It'll strengthen up. If you live in this area, south of Hot Springs Village, where we have this tornado warning, hopefully you're in your safe place. Maybe you're turning over and joining us now, watching us here from this area. You should be in your safe spot. Get something to put over your head. Maybe it's a bike helmet. Maybe it's a pillow, something that you can protect yourself just in case. Just in case. I hope it doesn't happen, but it's better to be safe than sorry. Centermost part of your home, put as many walls between you and the outside as you possibly can. Still, the rotation is holding steady, although it has shown some signs of weakening here over the last few rotation scans.
Tom, I'm looking at our message board, 501-376-1111, and we have gotten some, I would say, interesting video from the Diamond Head area. This person sent in a video. Justin, thank you for sending in that video to us. The quality is a little low resolution, but looking at the video, there definitely looks like there was some sort of funnel that tried to touch down. Whether or not it did touch down, we'll have to analyze that video a little bit more, but you can always send your reports, 501-376-1111. You can also send your reports or videos or pictures to our Facebook pages, especially the THV11 Facebook page, because we have people monitoring that Facebook page constantly through this severe weather coverage. That is encouraging news looking at live winds, Tom, because this still is showing just a hint of rotation, but this rotation it looks like it's falling apart. And I'm looking at Storm Track 11 as well, and it's not as convincing as what it once was, certainly over a few hours ago or a few scans ago on Storm Track 11. So let's rewind this here once again, because I want to give folks into the Hot Springs Village area some encouraging news. Storm Track 11, please, guys. And we are looking at what's happening here with this rotation. So we'll just walk you through here when the concern was, where that rotation started to pick up very close to Diamond Head. There it is right there, that bullseye of green. And then advancing this radar image, we start to lose that green. It tries to come back, but the blues even start to fade away as it marches its way towards Mountain Valley. If it was daytime, you probably still see a wall cloud, circulation within the clouds. But looking at that on our rotation tool, Storm Track 11, that really pinpoints exactly where the rotation is, I'm looking at some encouraging news, and hopefully that will continue to be the case.
That certainly is some good news. There's Mountain Valley, still have the rotation, still have the warning, but this is certainly weakening somewhat, and let's hope it falls apart and we don't have to deal with it anymore. There's one other little area here we were talking about. This is to the east of Tull, or west of Tull, excuse me, between Haskell and Traskwood. The Weather Service noted that there was some rotation with this. It wasn't anything big and broad and strong, but let's face it, if it's small, it doesn't matter. It's still a tornado, right? But they were keeping a close eye on that. That is now Seline County. It's between Haskell and Traskwood to the west of Tull. So there's a little area spin. There's the spin north of Hot Springs. And then just a mess that we have down in Clark County. They've lifted the tornado warning in Clark County. So this is the only warning that we have currently. And it's going to run a little while longer till about, I think 9:15 is the time. And we hope things begin to settle down. It becomes more of a heavy rain threat tonight, but we still have to keep an eye on some of these storms that have the potential for rotating and could possibly produce tornadoes. I mentioned this was a THV11 weather alert or weather impact alert day. It's a new thing we've unveiled. It's really to help you plan your day, your evening, or even in some cases your weekend. And tonight we get things started off with a landfalling tropical system that is moving through northeast Texas and southwest Arkansas. The system has prompted tornado warnings. We've had a few tornadoes spotted. We've had some touchdowns, and now we're looking at some heavy rain. We can't encourage you enough. If you have to drive tonight and you get in the middle of some of this heavy rain, you might want to pull over and wait it out, because some of this is going to come down at a fairly rapid clip. We're expecting several inches of rain between now and tomorrow afternoon. As much as 5 to 7 inches of rain could fall in portions of Arkansas. It just depends on the final track of Beryl, which is moving to the northeast. And I think we're finally beginning to see it show up in southwest Arkansas. And this is one of the feeder bands along and out in advance of the main circulation. You can see the warnings that have popped up in advance. There's the latest one, and that's really the only one that we have left. Yeah, okay. So yeah, the Weather Service is, after leaving Welland Springs, the Clark County rotation lost a lot of its identity. So, all right, so that's the last one. Seline, they're going to hold off on the Seline County one. That was the one that we were talking about near Tull, Arkansas, and this is the last one in Garland County. Currently 8:58, almost 9 o'clock, and we still have this band of showers and storms to go tonight as it continues to lift to the north-northeast, and expect a fairly good clip of heavy rainfall. This gives you an idea of where the rain is located. There's not much going on in eastern Arkansas. Over in Mississippi and Tennessee, there have been some storms that developed, but I really thought we'd see the rain moving into the Little Rock metro around 10 o'clock. Looks like it might be a little bit early. We're seeing some light rain shower activity. The heaviest activity continues just south and west along I-30. There's Arkadelphia. Arkadelphia, you're aligned to get some very heavy rain, possibly some wind here very shortly. I'll tell you what we want to do. Nathan's got a great looking shot of tropical depression, Beryl. It's come down. It's 7 o'clock advisory, brought it down to tropical depression. I'm going to take a step out, and if you guys take Nathan over there you go. Sorry about that. I wanted a good looking shot of where Beryl is located, and the advisory now down 35 miles per hour. Yeah,
as expected, these storms make landfall. They get torn apart very quickly with the interaction of the land. Take away their source, the warm water from the ocean, they can't maintain their strength very long. So we now have a tropical depression Beryl, what does that mean? That means the winds have subsided quite a bit. Winds are 35 miles per hour. That's sustained. We're still getting gusts of 60 miles per hour. So we can still have some gusts, especially in the southwest Arkansas with some of these bands of 50, maybe as high as 60 miles per hour in isolated areas. But there's the center now about to move into Texarkana, and it will continue to charge its way across central Arkansas. And so we still have some time to get through before we're in the clear. And it's going to take probably through the overnight into a large part of your Tuesday morning before all the rain starts to move out. And that's going to be the big concern, because we have a lot of rain setting up shop across the region. Where you see these bright reds and oranges on the radar, that's where it is raining like cats and dogs, frog strangler, gully washer, whatever you want to call it. This is some very heavy rainfall, a solid band extending from southeast Arkansas, Bradley County, Calhoun County, Dallas County, Clark County, and this is all lifting its way off to the north. So that band will likely move into Little Rock later tonight through the overnight hours, and it could produce easily 2 to 3 inches of rain, which may lead to some flash flooding concerns. That's why we have to watch out for portage range areas, low-lying areas, those trouble spots, especially underneath overpasses, will be susceptible to some flash flooding out there going into the overnight. Smaller creeks and streams, smaller rivers could also see some rapid rises. With this band, though, we also have to watch out for the potential of some spin-up tornadoes. We had that tornado watch in effect until midnight for a large part of Arkansas. That goes from Searcy to Conway, over towards Morrilton, and down to the south, and includes Little Rock. This watch may need to be extended even longer to include more real estate into northeast Arkansas as the center of Beryl continues to charge its way from the south and southwest. But we still have that tornado warning in effect for Garland County, a small part of Garland County. This cell still shows just a little bit of rotation, but not as impressive as what we were looking at just about 10 minutes ago. Here's the winds within the cell, looking at the radar, and where you see that little blue area, that's where the rotation is going to be located. So here's Hot Springs Village. Here's the Walmart at Hot Springs Village or Mountain Valley. If there's something happening, there's definitely some rotation in the clouds. Whether or not that rotation is moving down towards the surface, this is just a Doppler radar indicated tornado warning. Nothing has been confirmed. We haven't got any damage reports into Garland County or even into Hot Spring County. Nonetheless, still be in your safe place until this tornado warning is cleared for Hot Springs Village and Jessieville. I think Lake DeSoto, Lake Coronado, also Lake Cortez, those areas are just to the east of this rotation. It's following right along Highway 7. So there's Hot Springs Village, there's Jessieville, Highway 192, Highway 298. Make sure you are still in your safe place. Although this rotation continues to weaken, hopefully that trend will not stop.
Yeah, the Weather Service has just said they don't expect to issue a downstream continuance of this as the couplet has become weaker and diffuse, but I think they're going to let it go through the next 20 minutes or so. So that's certainly some good news. You're right, Nathan. It is weakening, and there it is right here. But there are some of the roadways, some of the areas near Hot Springs Village that Nathan is talking about, and that's certainly good news. I wanted to pass that along. I didn't mean to take you away from that. Thought you might want to know that, Nathan, that we might be seeing at least some of these warnings being taken away. And again, if that's the case, if we have no more tornado warnings, and here it is 9:04, if they were to cancel it, we could take you back to programming. We would reset for the 10 o'clock show. But for now, we'll keep it here, and we'll keep an eye on this cell that could still potentially produce a tornado.
This one's coming up, though.
The one, okay.
This one's starting to definitely show a little more rotation near Haskell, right along Highway 67 and also Interstate 30. So they may have to decide on whether or not to put a tornado warning on that.
It's a THV11 weather impact alert for the storms we're receiving tonight, the tornado watch that we have in effect for the tropical depression Beryl, and what Beryl is bringing, heavy rainfall and potential tornadoes. So we have a THV11 weather impact alert that's going to carry us through Tuesday afternoon. At 1 o'clock, you're going to be hearing more about what weather impact is, what it means for you and your family at home. This is our debut of it. And it just really pinpoints, and we're really hitting hard on the storms tonight, trying to keep you up to date, keep you safe in how the storms will impact you tonight and through the overnight hours. Make sure you have a way to receive severe weather information. The THV11 app, you can stream us on your app. If you got that NOAA weather radio at home and you've put it aside, say, hey, I don't need this for the rest of the year, it's summertime, you might want to pull it out, plug it in, replace the batteries. You might need it overnight with this area of storms continuing to lift across Arkansas. We will talk more about weather impact alerts moving forward. But yeah, this is our area of concern. The warning we still have in Garland County, and now this cell in Seline County that's moving almost due east to west. It's located just to the west of Haskell, crossing over I-30. Kevin, if you wouldn't mind, look at our I-30 cam there around Glen Rose, looking back to the north or even looking to the south. This is near the Hot Springs exit. I like to call it the Hot Springs exit. It's just south of Benton along 70. It looks like it's going to travel along 30, then cross over 70, head toward the Lonsdale area. Nathan.
Yes, Tom, we are still watching this rotation continue to pick up. I'm just going to put on a track here just to give folks a heads up, just in case this continues to strengthen, to give you an idea. We're just going to go with about 35 miles per hour. And this is moving, like you said, off to a kind of an unusual direction from the east, southeast, more towards the northwest and almost a westerly direction. So this may actually overlap, if they do issue a tornado warning, the one that has just been issued. This new one, if it is going to be issued, will include Lonsdale, Fountain Lake, and there's a timeline. You're not under tornado warning. We're just giving you a heads up, just in case, because we're just in this situation where these storms can rotate very quickly, produce a tornado with little to no warning. So we just want to give you a heads up. If you're watching us in this part of Seline County, into Garland County, there's a timeline, Fountain Lake, around 9:33 for this rotation to move across your region, and 9:38 for Hot Springs Village, Jesseville around 9:44. Again, this is not a tornado warning for these areas, but we just want you folks to be on your guard just in case they decide to pull the trigger if this rotation continues to pick up in intensity. This is the only tornado warning we have in effect is in Garland County, and we are still watching a hint of rotation. And I want to stress that. It's just a very small hint of rotation. Looks like the one in the Seline County is more impressive than the one into Garland County, because we have more blue showing up here right across Interstate 30 now into Seline County versus certainly a little lighter blue. That tells us, the meteorologists, that the inflow within this cell in Garland County is weaker. And if you don't have enough inflow, you don't get that warm, moist air moving into the storm to condense a funnel. But this one into Seline County showing more inflow, strengthening as it approaches Lonsdale and Crows. So want you folks to be on your guard just in case they will issue a tornado warning. And this is going to be a situation. These rotations are going to show up very quickly. That one showed up very quickly as it made its way through Tull, and it's quickly certainly increased in rotation over the past few scans. The only tornado warning we have in effect for the entire state of Arkansas at this time is still the one into Garland County. There's nothing down to the south. Looks like there's severe thunderstorm warnings being issued into Mississippi. Northern parts of Mississippi have some severe thunderstorm warnings. So the far reaches of Beryl, even though it's just to our southwest, entering into Texarkana, the center of the storm, is reaching its way into Mississippi and even into Tennessee. When we take a look at the radar, the rain shield is building its way in from the south and southwest. Heavy rain continues to fall across the Ouachitas, moving into the River Valley. Very heavy rainfall, some lightning and thunder happening into Clark County, Dallas County, stretching into Bradley County and also into Ashley County. This band is going to lift its way off to the north. This band will produce the potential of flash flooding. But until this whole ball of wax moves out of here, we're going to have that potential. We could see some flash flooding issues through the course of the overnight. Some locations could end up easily with 4 to 8 inches of rain in a short amount of time. Yeah, smaller creeks and rivers, poor drainage areas, low-lying areas will all be susceptible to flash flooding concerns. So we have the flash flooding concerns. We also have the tornado threat that goes all the way at least until midnight, but that may need to be extended into the early morning hours, and the winds will pick up as the center of Beryl continues to charge its way in here from the southwest. I think we'll see sustained winds, 15 to 25 miles per hour. But within these bands, you could see some gusts, maybe as high as 40 to 50 miles per hour. So the chance of power outages is there. I think it'll be very limited and very sporadic in nature. It's not going to be widespread power outages, but certainly want to be prepared for that possibility. Make sure you have your phones charged and also have the THV11 app downloaded to have those notifications to wake you up if you do go to bed tonight, just in case a tornado warning is issued.
Yeah. All right, let's keep it with the radar that Nathan has. Guys, I'll step back and you can pop me in. There we go, right there. Of course, this is our next area of concern, some thunderstorm activity here. This area of rain, this looks like an arm, this band of rain and thunder. The center of circulation now getting closer to southwest Arkansas to northeast Texas. That's the center of Beryl, now tropical depression Beryl. Winds around the center of circulation about 35 miles per hour. The winds tonight out in advance might be a little bit stronger than that at times. There's the one tornado warned storm we have, and of course we're keeping the eye on the one in Seline County that continues to perk up a bit. Otherwise, it's this area that we're keeping an eye on. Things look like they're beginning to settle down over southern Arkansas, maybe some drier air wrapping in here. I'm going to take a step back for those of you that want to orient, take a look at your location. Our radar banner kind of cuts off northern and north central Arkansas near Clinton. Searcy is dry right now. Little Rock, we're beginning to see the leading edge of some of the heavier rain move in, and it will take its time moving across. You can certainly see things wrapping around the center of Beryl, which is moving into southwest Arkansas. National Weather Service keeping an eye, close eye again on that box, that polygon over in Garland County. And I think they're going to continue. The warning expires here at 9:30 tonight. Then we've got this area over south Arkansas, south central Arkansas. No warnings there. There have been plenty tonight as this area of rain, the shield of rain lifts to the north and east. Heavy rain is possible tonight along with wind. Again, I'd like to mention tonight we issued a THV11 weather impact alert for occasions such as this. Normally in July, you're thinking of extreme heat and humidity, heat indices 105 to 115, which would also meet the criteria. But this is a little bit different. Hurricanes and tropical storms in July here in Arkansas producing storms that produce tornadoes. So that too is going to be some of the criteria we look at for issuing weather impact alerts. And as we get closer to winter, we'll have other criteria that will follow as well. Just know that moving forward, we'll have weather impact alerts off and on throughout the rest of the summer. We might be looking at another possibility later in the week as the heat returns. But for the short term and tonight, there it is. There's our only tornado warned storm for a little sliver of Seline County and central and northern parts of Garland County. That's it for right now. I hope if this will go away soon, we can get back to normal. Jessieville's in that polygon, so is Hot Springs Village at Fountain Lake. We throw radar over the top of it. There's that continuance of rotation there that is now just on the western fringe of Hot Springs Village. It is moving to the north-northwest. Here's our polygon. There's the community of Hamilton, Arkansas, Highway 298. If there's anything occurring, it's probably nothing more than a rotating wall cloud. We have seen reports from storm spotters that have reported wall clouds, but nothing reaching the ground. Thankfully, that's the case there. A little different story out of Sparkman, Arkansas, Dallas County. There may have been a tornado there. National Weather Service saying that there is. We have visual confirmation of it and some damage that we will take a look at more than likely tomorrow since it's gotten dark outside. But it has been an active weather day or an impactful day for some folks, and that's why we're going to continue with this THV11 weather impact alert tonight and through at least the first half of the day tomorrow for impacts like this. And there it is, hiding up underneath that Hot Springs Village banner. Looks like severe thunderstorm warning just issued, Nathan?
Yes, it's a brand new severe thunderstorm warning, and with it being more of a construction orange color, that is indicating the potential there could be a tornado
possible
with little to no warning. So they are watching this band continue to develop through Clark County, Dallas County, lifting its way off to the north. You can certainly see some signs of rotation right there. And also, anytime you have little curlicues happening here, that is the potential that this storm or these storms are starting to rotate a little bit more. So be on your guard as this band moves from south to north into Little Rock, we could start to see more rotation within this band over the next few hours moving into Little Rock Metro. It's been quiet here so far, but the rain's moved in. The rain will pick up in coverage and intensity, and along with this band, we could also see some gusty winds, maybe 30, 40, 50 miles per hour as it pushes its way in here from the southwest. Also watching still that rotation into Seline County, Tom.
That one has been canceled in Garland County. It just came about 9:14. They've canceled the tornado warning in Garland County. I'm sorry, go back to the one in Seline County. Go ahead and let Nathan describe what's happening there, the other one that we're looking at there.
So we're still watching rotation within this cell into Seline County, approaching Lonsdale, Crows, and Fountain Lake. This is showing still maintaining its rotation. If it continues to strengthen, the National Weather Service will most likely go ahead and issue a tornado warning. So just be on your guard. Highway 28, Highway 5, Crows, Fountain Lake, Lonsdale, Highway 70, and towards Hot Springs Village. Just in case this rotation continues to pick up, we'll be watching it very closely. Let's just give it a few more scans because as of right now, Tom, we do not have any tornado warnings in effect for Arkansas. But let's just stay with this one cell into Seline County, give it another scan or so just to make sure that it behaves itself and nothing suspicious continues to develop. Because we're just in that situation, once again, these storms can rotate very quickly, produce a quick tornado with little to no warning, and that's why the National Weather Service has gone ahead and not necessarily issued a tornado warning for Clark County, Hot Spring County, Dallas, and Grant County, but within this polygon, a storm may rotate very quickly and a tornado could certainly be produced in a short amount of time where the radar may miss it because it's so quick. So just be on your guard. Certainly stay away from windows, stay away from doors if you're watching us until this band moves through, and be on your guard here in Little Rock. We have a long night ahead of us, Tom. That's tornado watch is all the way until midnight. So we are going to be here keeping folks and viewers informed of the potential impacts going through the rest of the evening.
Let's keep it right here for just a moment, though, Nathan. The video that you mentioned, I think Kevin, our producer, has the video from earlier tonight that you were talking about earlier. There we go. From Justin C. in Diamond Head Hot Springs. So thank you, Justin C., for that. We're looking at some rotation possibly here. It's kind of hard to pick up. Got a bunch of trees there. Yeah, thank you, Justin, for sending that.
There looks like there's trying to be some sort of funnel, or I don't think it's scud, because it looks like it. Let's take another look at that on a bigger monitor here. Let me get closer to the monitor.
Yeah.
Because it is low resolution, but is it scud or is it actually rotating? It's hard to see on this monitor, but you can definitely see the winds picking up there with the trees moving around quite a bit. So that certainly could have been something trying to form, whether it was a funnel cloud.
Yeah.
We haven't heard any damage around that region.
Right, right. I tell you what I would like to do, Kevin, since we do not have a tornado warning, it's 9:18. I'd like us to reset real quick, go back to statewide radar, and then Nathan and I are going to take a break. We're going to get ready for the 10 o'clock show and hope there's no more tornado warnings. Let's show folks one last time here radar of the state and what's going on. We're keeping a close eye on the severe thunderstorm warnings over south central Arkansas. The tornado warnings have all expired, but we're keeping an eye on this area, south central Arkansas, that's going to be moving to the northeast and may be impacting our area in the next hour or so. Lots of rain is falling out there. This is Beryl moving out of northeast Texas into southwest Arkansas. Tonight we're looking at the impacts of some heavy rain along with the possibility of a few brief tornadoes. A THV11 weather impact alert. We're going to talk more about it at 10 o'clock if we have a newscast. If we have tornadoes or tornado warnings, Nathan and I are here. We'll certainly break in. We're going to take a moment or two, take a break, reset some things, and we will be back at 10 o'clock or earlier. All right, everybody, we'll go back to CBS programming and we'll see you at 10.